Thanks for joining me for Simple Faith. You might remember a couple of weeks ago we went inside our sanctuary and we looked at some of the symbols of our faith that we find within our church. Over the next couple of weeks we're going to look at some of the symbols of our faith that we find here in our homes. And today we're going to start with my nativity set. This is a nativity set that was made in Jerusalem many years ago. And if you look closely at the figures, you would be able to see that the figures don't look very much like me. They were hand carved by an artisan, a Palestinian Jew, and he tried to carve them to look like people from the Middle East, just like Jesus Christ was from the Middle East. And it's a good reminder for me every time I look at this nativity set that Jesus Christ was very different from me in a lot of ways. He grew up in a different time and in a different part of the world, spoke a very different language than I speak. But in spite of all of those differences, Jesus Christ was so faithful to God and loved God so much that he died for people all over the world, for people like me who needed God's love and God's forgiveness. And that's a really important lesson for all of us to remember, that when we see people who are different than us in the world, that doesn't mean they can't love us. That doesn't mean they can't care about us. That doesn't mean that they can't keep us safe. But God calls us, no matter what we look like, no matter how different we are, God calls us to love our neighbors as ourselves, to look at each person and see that they were made in the image of God, and to love all of God's children, because that's what Jesus Christ did. So let's try to do that this week and come back in the next couple of days, and we'll talk about more symbols of our faith that you can find right here at home.